So we were talking about Florida. Speaking of Florida, I do have to say, put up the picture. I'm very upset,
Which one
but
is the blue one?
Ron,
Oh,
Ron,
oh,
Ron
yeah, oh yeah,
suspends his campaign. Now we were talking about this earlier. The reason they always call it suspend is because they always continue to leave it open in case something does happen to Trump and they can jump back in. But I saw this coming. Everyone saw it coming because the Trumpers are nothing if not loyal and outspoken.
yeah.
And they are a force to be reckoned with. And he came in second in the Iowa caucus, but Trump was still like 30, 40 points ahead of him. New Hampshire, he didn't even have a shot. He was in like single digits. And it was unlikely that even if he won or got close to winning South Carolina, either way, Trump was going to win all three, it looked like. And there was just no clear path for him to win. So he bowed out like a real man does. When you know it's not going to happen, you take your L.
Yep.
But he's still got one more year as a governor of Florida, and then I see him going into maybe a Senate or House seat, doing something of that nature, moving his way up, and then maybe going for a presidential thing in 2028.
Yep.
Because sorry for the Trumpers, Trump won't be able to go a third time. You guys are going to be shit out of luck on that one. You're going to have to be fervent for somebody else finally.
Right.
And I'll be looking forward to that because of.
Oh.
But yeah, like I've been an outspoken DeSantis supporter, so I did have to mention that. But
Sure.
I think he would have done the best job out of all the Republican candidates because he's been the best executioner out of all of them when it comes to putting his money where his mouth is and actually getting the stuff done that he says he's going to get done. The state of Florida has thrived under him, and it would be nice to see him do that to the entire country. But, you know, the Trumpers want their revenge, and we're all just going to have to sit here and wait for it.
I know, honestly, I don't see Trump losing. I really don't.
I don't either, which I'm glad for because I don't want another 4 years of Biden for the reasons we've talked about before when it comes to mainly global stuff, you know, the stuff going on in other countries. I think that weakness could get us in a lot of trouble. But I'm not looking forward to the theatrics again for another 4 years. Like, just watching everyone talk about him 24/7 gets really old. But
yeah, you wouldn't about being under a microscope. He's constantly under a microscope through all the media. Just to
well, and these people just genuinely hate him. Like, and they don't. I feel like most of them don't even have a good reason they hate him. They just hate him because it's cool to hate him. But like even one of his cases, I believe it was the case in New York. The judge, I don't know if we talked about this. His wife's mom died, and he asked if he could have a day off from court to go to the funeral and help, be with his wife while she mourns her mother, and they denied it. So it's like you're just being vengeful at that point, and you're kind of proving his point.
Right.
But the Trumpers are there for revenge, man, and they're gonna show up in full force on voting day. And I just don't think there's enough, even as much as people hate Trump, I don't think there's enough liberals out there that are like, yeah, Biden's the shit, that they're gonna go stand out there in November weather to go vote. Like, I just don't see it happening.
But the thing is, though, is that there may not be those who support Biden, but they damn sure will make sure Trump don't get in office.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I try to explain to, I think, a lot of the people, especially out here in the area we live. They're in their little red bubble, and they don't understand how the people in the other part of the country think. And I'm like, you guys might love Trump so much, but what you don't understand is how much other people hate him. And I'm not saying that it's rational, and I'm not saying they have good reasons or that their reasons make sense. Some of them might have good reasons, but some of them, like I said, just hate him because it's cool to hate him. because they'll call him racist and all this other stuff. But then if you ask them for, and okay, when was he racist? They can usually never give you an actual scenario. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm not looking forward to it. And I try to explain to people, like, you just don't understand how much people hate him. Like, they will make sure he doesn't get in. And that was another reason why I was trying to convince people, like, I feel like DeSantis could sway the independents more than Trump can. Because Trump, like we were talking about, with I think it was with the Cowboys, like, you either love them or you hate them. There's no in between. That's Trump. You love him or you hate him. Not very many people don't have an opinion on him. But there's a lot of kind of independents out there, the people who don't necessarily follow the news 24/7, like they just kind of like the average Joe, that I would be more likely to give someone like DeSantis a shot, even if he's a little more conservative than Trump, than, they're looking at. There was this crazy poll that said only 20% of people think they are better off now than they were in 2019. 80% of people said they are worse off now than 2019. And that's bad for Biden. Like, people are feeling it, economy-wise and everything else. So I think someone that's a little less brash than Trump could maybe pull more people kind of towards that side to be willing to give it a shot, just for the sake of, cheaper gas, cheaper rent, cheaper food. You know what I mean?
I got you. We'll see what happens. I mean, once again, we're, this year's the year that we, this is the year that we find out if Biden can go another 4, or we find out if Trump's going to take it over. I think Trump's got it because, once again, there's so much leaning towards him to take it that I think it's only a matter of time.